Okay, so you know what day it is. Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls, episode 24. And let's do it, right? So our buddy Russ, right in the chat, TikTok, it's 8:30. So we'll just start off by saying, congratulations for your Phillies. Listen, you guys have had a...
Sorry, good.
What are you doing? Okay. No, we're happy for you. We're excited. I know you went to the game the other day, actually. I hope you had a blast. You're living vicariously. Like I'm living vicariously through you. You're going to the movies, playoff games. I want to be like Russ when I get older.
That's right. No, Russ has got the undefeated Eagles. He's got the Phillies now in the World Series, so got a lot to look forward to.
But I have to tell you, he did watch a very special game on Sunday night. He watched a Dolphins game.
Oh, all right. Nice.
So I think he might be a slight converted Dolphins fan. We do have to check on that.
I hope so.
I do too. We'll take you on the clan. Anyways, guys.
This is his AFC team. He's got obviously his team in the NFC, but we only play each other 4 times every 4 years. So, you're welcome to join the Dolphin bandwagon now.
Definitely. So, he did. Hey, guys. Hello. He said no. He's not coming on. Hello. Hello, beautiful to you as well. I don't know who sky's the limit, but thank you for the compliment, unless you're calling Lou beautiful, which you may be.
Well.
And hello. So, anyways, let's just jump into it. Dolphins, we break the 3-game losing streak. We have a big Sunday night win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was not pretty. It was nail-biting, and it should never have been. Crazy. So, let's talk about the game. Well, let's talk a little bit before the game. So we knew on Sunday, primetime game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And on the last episode, Lou shared that we haven't won a Sunday night football game ever.
Well, Sunday night football game on NBC.
NBC we're usually cursed on.
We were 0 for 3 in NBC games on Sunday night and 0 for 4 overall, as we did play in a Thursday night game when the Steelers, ironically enough, won the championship. Their opening game was against us on Thursday night on NBC. That was actually the first game on that package. So we were 0-4 going into this game. So we had to. It was time for us to finally get a win on the Peacock Network.
Oh my gosh, isn't that the facts? Our buddy Eric says it perfect. I mean, first half was pretty fun. Tua looked great first quarter. Second half was ugly. It really was. It was nail biting. It was frustrating. It was all the above. But yet we pulled out with the win, and we almost didn't. We almost didn't win.
Yeah, so right out the gate, to a strong start. A lot of people are tuning in. I mentioned it last week, and they were talking about it throughout the whole pregame.
Yeah.
We were at the game, and we'll talk about getting into the stadium and all that afterwards. But we watched the replay. We watched the warm-up show, the pregame show that had all the everything that they talked about with Tua. It was heavy on Tua, just like how's he going to hold up. A lot of people were concerned. It was they had Dale Earnhardt on, which it was like the NASCAR thing that I talked about. People were tuning in to watch if Tua was going to survive the game, and he did. He came out firing. First drive, second drive looked real good.
He did.
He even took a hit. He had an opportunity.
Came up.
He had an opportunity to slide, and he took the contact head on. Walked out of that okay. Overall, he rushed 4 times for 15 tough yards.
Mm-hmm.
He threw the ball well in that first drive, and we were off to a 13-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. So it started off very promising.
Definitely. I want to introduce you to my buddy, RJ. RJ is Dolphins, Wisconsin on Twitter. He's actually going to be in Chicago. So we're all trying to get pieces together, and definitely excited to meet you and your family. And it's already here. I feel like, we've been talking about this trip. I'm still high on the whole Baltimore trip. That trip was just amazing.
Yes.
But it's going to be really, really cold next week, I think.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. The Bears just beat the crap out of the Patriots on Monday Night Football.
And I actually predicted that. So
I didn't see that coming, especially with Mac Jones coming back. I didn't see that coming. But, hey, it's going to be a tough game. And you were going to go initially, and I decided to join you. So now we're officially locked in for Chicago. And, looking forward to it.
Definitely looking forward to meeting you, RJ, and the rest of the crew up there. Chicago is one of my absolute favorite cities. It's probably New York than Chicago, and I just can't wait to go see Soldier Field. We went to Chicago a few months ago for a Heat Bulls game, but we went past Soldier Field, so I just can't wait to actually see it. I heard it's not one of the nicest stadiums, but just to be a part of it, I'm really looking forward to that.
It's a very historic stadium, and we'll get into it more next week after the Lions game. But, yeah, one of the reasons why we picked the game on the schedule is because they're more than likely going to be leaving Soldier Field.
Don't lie. We picked the game because we want to eat pizza.
Well,
we want to go to the Drunken Goat. We want to go to our
the
chulas.
Billy Goat. Stop
the Billy
saying
Goat.
Drunken
Well,
Goat.
I'm a Drunken Goat at the Billy Goat. So
Billy Goat.
No, I mean, yeah, that's obviously the reason they are going to be relocating the Bears. But we do love the city. We really, really, really do. So it'll be great.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the game. How about no? He came big when it counted.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. So, yeah, Tua starts off hot, 13-0 after the first quarter. Then we get another Jason Sanders field goal.
Thank God he made it. Oh, he's been so up and down this season.
I'll talk about that soon now, too. But Jason Sanders gets another field goal in the second quarter. And that was it. That was all the scoring. And turns out that's all they needed because the Steelers countered with 10 points in that second quarter.
Yep.
And that was your scoring. That was your ball game. There was no more scoring in the second half. I don't think I've ever been to a game where there was no scoring in an NFL or even college game in the second half by both teams. So both teams combined for a big goose egg in the second half. I never seen anything like that, but it was still nerve-wracking because the Dolphins still managed to drive the ball downfield.
Yep.
And they didn't come away with points. Specifically in the third quarter, midway through, there was a big decision to be made. Well, I didn't think it was a big decision at all. I thought they should have kicked the field goal. They're inside the 20th yard line on 4th and 3, and Coach McDaniel decides to go for it on 4th and 3, hands the ball to Edmonds, who I got to tell you, Edmonds is really taking a step back here.
He has, but Chase Mostert. I'm sorry. I would say Chase. I don't know why I just said Chase. Raheem Mostert, who arguably is the fastest guy on the Dolphins. He is faster than Waddle and Hill. He's really stepped up.
No, he has. But the point is here is that you have a 4th and 3, and you give the ball to a guy who's missed drop passes. Hasn't been able to run the ball well at all. And I know that the play was designed to go a certain way, and he didn't take that route. But again, I didn't feel comfortable having Chase Edmonds, who has been struggling here, getting that. They should have taken the points and would have made things a lot
more comfortable. Give us a little cushion,
and just the panic that we were in the rest of the game because nobody scored. And not only did nobody score, but just as we got in position to go up by 9 points and kick that field goal, the Steelers had multiple drives,
multiple opportunities,
3 of them which were intercepted, and they just brought up the Noah Ganagabi finally making a big play. So that was concerning, And then Jason Sanders was 3 for 3. He made the extra point, so he made all his kicks.
Thank God.
Finally, the tide turns there. Why not give him the opportunity to put us up 9 and really, put a strong hold? The way the defense was playing, put a strong hold in that game and not leave it up to chance, which is what it pretty much came up to down the stretch.
No, it was a game that really, the first quarter, it looked like we had it in the bag. And then the momentum just slowed down. And then by the third quarter, we're like, what's going on? And obviously Tua was the big discussion. It's his first game back in 3 or 4 weeks. And, he knows he's in the spotlight. He even did an interview on national television. I think it was with Maria Taylor. And he said, listen, this whole thing with the concussion, I'm the guinea pig of it. And it is what it is. And I speak for a lot of people when I say, we're watching every time he gets hit. It's nerve-wracking right now because we can't have him, first of all, his health is number one, but also we need him in these games. Yeah. We cannot depend on Teddy Bridgewater. We obviously know he's not starting quarterback role. And Skylar Thompson, he's still developing into
still very young.
He's still very young. So we need Tua, and
Yeah, to your point, we saw the interview, and I love what he said. The kid's a winner. He's a tough kid. He said that he doesn't remember what happened, but he still wanted to play. He wanted to join his team.
He has spunk in hearts.
He was helping the guys all along the way, Teddy and Skylar, getting ready for the respective games that they played in. Yeah. And he also went on record as saying, hey, he doesn't want this to be known because obviously all the rules changes has happened.
Yeah.
And every hit now is put under a microscope.
Minus Tom Brady.
Right, except him. But, Tua said, look, I don't want this to be known as a Tua rule. I don't want it to know, this is because of Tua. He's a tough kid. He says the right things, and he's out there to play, and he's not going to back down. He's not going to, take a back seat to anybody. He's going to go out there and show out, and he did that Sunday night. Like I said, he had a chance to slide, and he took the impact head on. So he's just a tough, gritty kid, and I'm happy.
And we definitely gave the Tua a chance. I'm sure the Tua chants were heard from here to Pittsburgh. We lit that stadium up, talking about chants and people. Our girl Sandy.
It was so great meeting you. It was so awesome.
Don't steal my friend. He lit up more when he met you than he ever did with me in the last 2 years. So just, I hope you and Jared had a good trip home. We missed you guys. We can't wait till you come back to Florida. We loved hanging out with
They
you.
were living it up too.
I know they do everything. I was like, where are you and Jared going now?
It was great.
Our buddy Russ, what's Russ today? Let's see. Oh, my computer. By the way, on the movies you haven't seen, The Terminator was released today in 1984.
Oh,
I'll be back.
That's right. Even you know that one.
Let's see. Okay. What about all the injuries we were having in our secondary? I said this last week. I'm pretty sure some man lives in his parents' home in a basement, has a voodoo doll of us.
Oh.
And it's either like a Bills or Patriots fan, and he's constantly pricking at our players for them to get hurt because the injuries are just
it's bad.
crazy.
Is there any update on Byron Jones finally, or is this nothing?
Don't even mention that man on my show. It's not. I mean, I think there was an update, but it wasn't good. That's pretty much done at this point. We know Nick Needham is out for the season.
Yes.
And I was really, really looking forward to, seeing him play. I loved what he did preseason during camp. And, you still have Waddle's not 100%. Teron Armstead with his toe. So we're not a healthy squad. But then again, really, who is? So that's
Yeah, and I do want to talk about the defense really quick. So Van Ginkel had a great game.
Yes.
Here's a guy that he got injured. Here's a guy. I feel like Chris Collinsworth right now, which, by the way, one of the perks of being at the Sunday night game is we didn't have to listen to Chris Collinsworth. I mean, that was so great to be in that game and not have to listen to Collinsworth. So,
yeah.
But
our buddy RJ makes a good point about Tua before you get into that. We can't baby him. It's true. Like we can't baby him. We have to. It's so hard because we want the guy to succeed, right? Like we want him to, but we know he's fragile, and it's also our offensive line. They're not holding enough. It's getting the ball out. But you're right. We can't baby him at the end of the day. It is the game of football. But it's tough, and I know a lot of people, Yeah,
you got to roll him out there, and he's a tough kid, and you're right. He took the hit. It's football. It's not flag football. It's not, the NBA where flopping is a foul and a technical foul in some of these games.
Yeah.
It's football. You're wearing a helmet for a reason. You expect the contact. It's going to come, and you got to just, pull the Band-Aid off and get back in there. I mean, it's the only way to go.
We have an injury report. Brandon Jones is out for the year, and I don't know when Byron Jones.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, that's what I saw today.
Wow.
Yeah, it was Brandon Jones is what we saw today. Brandon Jones is out for the year. We don't know when Byron Jones. So that is terrible. Jared's first trip and she fell in love. So maybe fell in love with me or Florida. Hopefully both.
Both. You said you're moving down, Sandy. So eventually we got to get you from the West Coast to the East Coast. Come on down.
So Russ says it's not a voodoo board. Remember the craft. 4 witches have Coven against the Dolphins. It's something against us because the injuries are just, even with the quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater went down with the Jets and Skylar and this and that. It's a lot. And it's not that I don't trust our secondary, but we have starters for a reason. And these guys were picked and chosen and moved around for reasons to fit the offense and the defense. And things are just not falling into place. And it's a problem. Right.
Well, look, X is getting back to good health. He hasn't, been playing like himself, but he's getting back to good health, so that's good. And then where I was going was Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel,
I love him.
He suffered an injury in the preseason, and then he missed the first game and really was being worked back in. Well, this past Sunday night.
Well, it wasn't an injury; it was his appendix.
Yes, sorry, it was a condition.
Medical.
Right.
Yeah,
and because of it, right, correct, and I mixed that up with Byron Jones, but yeah, because of that, he also lost a lot of weight. I mean, it was noticeable. He didn't look like the same guy. There was one point where he was next to Duke Riley, and they have the same, yellowish, long length hair, and he looked similar. Well, I am. Trust me, I really am.
Me too.
If I could have that, I would. But they were right next to each other. And Van Ginkel's normally a very immense, tough-looking guy.
Yeah.
And he looked on par with Duke Riley. So he lost a lot of weight, but he's gained it back now. And he had a monster game on Sunday.
He looks powerful.
11 tackles. He had a couple of QB rushes. He was putting his hands up on D and deflected a ball. He just did a great job all over the field.
Our defense looked good. I think they really held the Patriots. The Steelers. I don't know why I said the Patriots.
But so that's a positive. Even though we've lost a lot of guys, as mentioned in the chat, with the secondary, you got a guy like Van Ginkel finally back to where he's usually capable of. Jalen Phillips, he did this last year. Jalen Phillips, struggled at the beginning, and then he got into it and really closed out the year strong. Well, he had another big performance as well. Eight tackles. He had a sack and a half, so that was huge. Mm-hmm. And then, the secondary. Big interceptions all in the second half by Justin Bethel, Javon Holland, and then Noah Gunagaby, who's been a very much maligned player based on him being a number 1 draft pick and really not living up to the billing. But he finally had a signature moment as a member of the Miami Dolphins, got a huge game-saving interception, and we got lucky. Let's call it what it is. It was a huge win on Sunday night. I know we're going to talk about the pregame festivities and the halftime festivities and all that, but it was a huge game on Sunday night. We had lost 3 in a row. We really needed to put a tourniquet on, stop the bleeding, and get that win, and we delivered. But we did get lucky. If this was against another quarterback that wasn't a rookie, he's maybe not throwing those picks into that tight coverage. Yeah. And, maybe they take the lead, and then the way that we were unable to move the ball in the second half, you wonder if Tua being gassed and making his return back, if he could have drove the team down the field and put us in a position to kick a game-winning field goal. So we dodged
at the end of the day, we took the W. We needed to.
100%.
We couldn't have lost 4 straight. Keeps us in the race. RJ makes a good point. We were asked this question last week a few times as well. Trade deadline thoughts. Now, I will be the first to say, if you would have asked me this question 3 weeks ago, my opinion 3 weeks ago is different than it is now. My opinion 3 weeks ago is that it was going to be Gesicki, right? Like, Gesicki wasn't fitting the offense as maybe we thought. He was getting less touches, and he's being used more as a blocker. But last game, and even this game, he's getting passes, he's getting catches, and it's looking like he's finding his role. Coach McDaniels is using him to different abilities. So it would have been Gesicki 3 weeks ago, and I hate to say that because I love Gesicki, right? I really, really do. I know his potential. He's a team player, but they're making ways for him with the offense that is not just blocking, more it's catching and running and passing. So I don't know if it's Gesicki. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be either Gesicki or I think we need to make a move. Trades in the NFL are very hard to do, and you don't see them very often.
Not like baseball.
It's telling how the trade deadline is like in week 8 or 9.
Yeah.
It's earlier than that. I think it's this upcoming week.
Yes.
And now with the season being longer, they really cut the trade deadline really short at the beginning of the year. But I think at this point we need another guy who could pass rush, and with our lack of depth and all these injuries in secondary, I think it wouldn't hurt to get some kind of help back there. So a defensive back, backup, somebody who come in there, because these guys in the back in defensive back field they're falling like flies. So we need more help there, and if it has to come by trade, then so be it. But Gesicki's definitely a guy that's going to command somebody back, and then also draft picks. We have abundance of draft picks. And if we need to, get some draft picks away in order to get what we need, we got to do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, time will tell, right? We have to trust the process. Thank goodness we're not the Canes this year, because honestly, Lou and I, we support the local team, but when we first met, we're not diehard. Like, we don't watch the games and stuff, but we support. But talk about struggling. My gosh, my coworkers who are diehard Canes fans, like, you can't even look at them on Monday mornings. Like, they're just distraught. So, that's a whole another trusted process as well. But I feel that obviously, we're doing better than our college team here.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, you can't put the onus on Cristobal there. He didn't recruit these guys, so you got to give him a little bit of a while here to get his guys in here.
Yeah,
but, man,
he's working with what he
losing a Duke, and we talked about it on Sunday before the show.
Before the game, Tech.
Losing a Duke,
Duke's a basketball school
at home by 20.
Middle Tennessee
points.
State.
Yeah,
Texas A&M was the
really.
No, I know.
No, Texas A&M was a good loss.
Well, yeah, but I want to do for Richmond Webb. Richmond was talking a lot.
Yeah, but
that's his squad.
You can't lose to Middle Tennessee State for sure, and you shouldn't lose to Duke at home by 24 points.
Malcolm Butler, we were working out yesterday. He can help. Okay. Yes. You don't like him?
He's a Patriot, and
I'll get over it.
For those of you who don't know, Malcolm Butler
had
the craziest interception in Super Bowl history, and it wasn't really his doing. It's Pete Carroll, who had 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, and all he had to do was hand the ball off to beast mode, Marshawn Lynch, and he chose to pass the ball, and Malcolm Butler becomes a hero. So I guess, maybe he can do some good for us that,
Russ says never trust the process. You're only saying that because your Eagles are undefeated and your baseball team's in the World Series.
No, he's saying that because the Sixers use that, and our friend of the program, Michael Shut Up Diaz, is a huge Sixers follower, and they're not doing too well off the start. So yeah.
No, the trust. I was going to say your teams are you're on cloud 9 right now. What I would do just to have one of my teams in that position. So hey, we're cheering for you. Already said 2024 Canes though. Watch them. No, it's like I said. Coach Mario has the players who were inherited to him. You know, he didn't scout these guys out or whatever, didn't recruit them. So, and it doesn't mean they're terrible players, but he has a method to his madness, his methodology. And I totally agree that, you know, it's going to take a year or two for it to all come together. I know that he's a Patriots fan, but we need him right now. Anything Patriots, Luke gets very salty about.
Yeah, for real. Well, look, I know you want to talk about
pretty sure Malcolm Butler. Pretty sure never played in Super Bowl 52.
No, he didn't, and that's why. That's of course the Eagles' game-winning Super Bowl. So yes.
Our girl Sandy. This is why you love her. I don't trust any Patriots, Jets, or Bills player. Although right. I will tell you, when we got Dustin Keller from the Jets, the tight end, I was pretty excited, but that's just for his looks. Yes. If the Canes need a new head coach, we can't be we have to trust it. Like, let it happen. But Matt Rule.
Yeah, no thanks. He didn't do too well there, so no.
He turned around Baylor and Temple though.
Yeah, but we're good.
We're different though here.
With Crystal,
Miami.
So. But yeah, no, I didn't want to talk about the pregame.
So yeah, we won. Took the win.
Obviously, it was your birthday and a lot of celebrations there, and then they had the big celebration at halftime, 1972 team. So I know you want to talk about that. I do want to just wrap it up by saying, look, like you just said, we got the win. Mostert looked really good, like you said.
I love him.
He's run the ball with fresh legs on the field. He caught the lone touchdown of the game.
Yeah.
And he had 30 yards receiving as well. And then, the wide receivers are locked in. Whoever the quarterback's been, whether it's Tua, Skyler, or
They'll
Teddy.
find them. They'll find them. They'll make it
work.
I'm
talking about Teddy and Waddle. They've been doing what they need to do.
Teddy and Waddle?
Yeah.
Tyreek.
Tyreek Hill.
So don't put Teddy out there to run.
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle have been doing their job no matter who the quarterback is. So, the offense just got to continue to get better week in week. And
you got to think of it. Our offense, and I'm going to say it very straight up, they're dealing essentially with a new quarterback every week, and that's not healthy for an organization. The quarterback relationship with the players needs to be the strongest one out there. So if you're 1 week they're dealing with Tua, the next week they're dealing with Teddy, the next week they're dealing with Skyler. There's a lot of moving parts right there. So I'm not, again, making excuses, but let's be real. Like, the chemistry, yeah, it should be with Tua, but Tua has had issues not issues, but we know the situation. So the whole offense as a whole had to adjust to 3 quarterbacks this year, which is crazy. So, all right. But yeah, so they had the 1972 celebration at halftime. Lou and I are really, really looking forward to it. As you guys know, a lot of the players have passed on. So they had their family there, which was a really nice touch. But you guys know I'm very honest. The celebration ceremony wasn't as what we were hoping, right? And maybe we're just so like in the juju of it, like we just want so much of the 1972. But what they did was they had the players who are alive, Miss Shula and the family of the deceased players come out on golf carts, right? It looked like a little Caddyshack thing. And they brought them around the field and they said their names and we cheered and they waved and that was it. Granted, we would have liked a monogram. A hologram. What is it? A hologram. We wanted a hologram of Don Shula from the sky coming down from heaven saying whatever, say anything. Like, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great artistic, it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's a display board that has all of them lined up in their uniform. That would have been cool. I mean, certainly in a day and age in 2022, when you have, Biggie Smalls and Tupac coming back and doing concerts.
You cannot compare Biggie Smalls and Tupac to Don Shula.
That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say is that you can have if you could have a hologram of Tupac and Biggie Smalls and all these other guys that have passed, you could have put together a hologram of Don Shula and some other guys.
That would have been a beautiful touch of him come down, even just a wave or something. That would have been really powerful.
Yeah, no, and also the fact that they stayed on the sideline, so they were mixed in with the current day players. You couldn't right. They should have been in the middle of the field. So the idea would have been for those golf carts to stop, get them onto the field. Yeah, maybe some of them, need help walking or, whatnot, but get them on the field and have them take their proper, salute and for the crowd.
Yeah. So I mean, not to discredit the ceremony, it was beautiful. We don't get to see those guys every day, and they are up in age, so it was good to see them, but we wanted more.
Yeah, and they also gave the season ticket holders. They had. I believe they picked 6 season ticket holders that had been season ticket holders from the beginning. They've never missed a year. They gave them the opportunity to present the team with watches. And that's another thing. I thought those guys should have get something too. If you've been a fan of this team, I mean, granted, those were the glory years, but if you've stuck with this team,
50 years, season
all
tickets,
this, and
that's a lot of money.
And been through a lot of bad football the last 35 plus years, those guys, if we're going to watch, they deserve a lot more than that. Like a full makeover of their home or something
Oh
for all the walls they punched out watching these teams over the last couple of years.
So Sandy has to be been to museum. Sandy, we have gone. Well, Lou missed the one tailgate, and I've been there.
I haven't gone.
We haven't. I mean, you know how our tailgate is. You spent the last 2 weeks with us. For us to even leave the tailgates, even go to the porta potty, the porta john, like we haven't. We haven't been there yet.
So I will say this, and Russ is not going to like this, and any of our Philadelphia faithful in the room are not going to like this, but this is the 50th year anniversary, obviously.
Yeah.
But I am waiting for the Eagles to suffer their first loss, which they will. Russ, I know you're high on your horse now with your team in the World Series.
Russ is a friend of ours.
Your team's in the World Series. I know your Eagles are undefeated, but it's coming. You're not going to go the whole season without losing a game. It's going to happen, and at that point is when I will have my moment, and I will truly
do a photo op in 1972.
Experience the celebration of 50 years that we know that there will not be any undefeated team.
I have an idea. Russ is a very good friend of ours. So what we're going to do is
love you, Russ.
What we're going to do is when that happens, there's a lot of what I've heard is there are a lot of things of like Don Shula there. I think we crop out Don Shula's head and put Russ's head there.
I like it.
He's an OG. So that'd be good.
Yeah,
you said Shula. Sandy says her dog's named Shula. Well, sure enough, Lou's parents' dog is named Marino, and my parents' dog is named Miami. So we just keep it in the family, right? I mean, so Sunday, let's wrap it up on Sunday. We've been talking about it for a half hour. We won, took the W. It wasn't pretty, but we did it. So let's jump into the 1972 segment before we talk about next week.
Like it.
So ruffle the Eagles feathers. Sandy's my cousin's not in the chat, so Sandy's ready to fight with anybody. All right, so your favorite segment. Let me bring it up. Here we go.
There you go. Cue the music.
Bum, 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 bum.
Get that thing out of there.
It didn't go away.
All right, that's great, but okay, let's get right into
music. I'm working on it, Russ. I need you to hook it up, please. Oh, now I really want to go undefeated on principle now.
Oh, there you go.
Shots fired.
I don't know about that, Russ. Be careful what you wish for. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see.
All right, guys, your favorite segment of the show, besides hearing us bicker and argue, 1972. Lou, bring us back to 1972. Talk to us.
All right, I got 2 good facts this week. I was doing 3, but now I'm just doing 2. Russ is going to like this one, though. The World Series, of course, gets underway this Friday.
Yep.
Congrats to Russ and our Philadelphia friends out there.
Congrats to the Astros fans.
As the Phillies are back in the Fall Classic for the first time since
2008.
2009.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah, they won in 2008. They lost in 2009 to the Yankees. They're, of course, going to be taking on, as you mentioned, the Astros. Well, in 1972, the World Series wrapped up 50 years ago this past week. The Oakland A's beat the Cincinnati Reds in a classic 7-game series. All right?
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. The Oakland A's beat
the Cincinnati Reds in a classic 7-game series.
Okay.
This was the first World Series appearance for the A's in Oakland. Their previous appearance was back in 1931 when the franchise was based in what city?
Is it East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
And what team is this?
The Oakland A's.
Oakland A's are based in East Coast City.
Made the World Series back in 1931 as a team in this city. What is
Phoning a friend.
Anybody out there? Russ, come on, you're on the money with this.
No, Sadie's my baseball girl. She can give me something. What team was the
Oakland A's
in 1931? Philly.
Is that
right?
That's right. They were the Philadelphia A's. All right. So now this was a matchup.
Oh no, Russ actually came in a second earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys still got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this is a matchup of the 2 most successful franchises of the 70s. The Oakland A's were known as the Swinging A's, and they won back-to-back. That's titles in 72, 73, and 74, while the Reds were known as the Big Red Machine. They made 4 World Series appearances and won back-to-back titles in 75 and 76. So combined, both of these teams won 5 World Series and made it to 8 of the World Series in a decade. Pretty impressive, right? All right. Now.
Wait, I'm sorry. Better Fins fan in the chat. What up, Papo?
What's going on?
Hello. Still celebrating that Sunday night win. All right, go.
All right, so the A's played this World Series without their star, Reggie Jackson.
Oh.
He was hurt in the ALCS, but the A's were still able to beat the Reds. And they did so by winning Game 7 on the road in Cincinnati by a score of 3-2.
Okay.
Gene Tennis was voted the MVP of and some pretty famous names and awesome names, which were true characters of the game, factored in the Game 7 final line. Catfish Hunter.
Yes, he played
Awesome
for the Yankees.
name.
He played for the Yankees.
He was the game-winning pitcher for the A's in Game 7.
He played for the Yankees, too.
Pedro Borbon, a favorite and a nasty pitcher, took the loss to the Reds, and Raleigh Fingers with the most immaculate mustache. Raleigh Fingers got the save for the A's. All right? Now, trivia time.
Okay. All right, phoning a friend.
She needs a lot of help this segment because she's no good at trivia, so
Really?
guys, help her out.
Really? Reggie's from Cheltenham High School, my arch rival high
Nice.
school. Oh.
And your dad actually met Reggie Jackson a
My
couple
dad went
times?
to the Atlantis with Reggie Jackson. They were like party buddies.
Okay. All right, so trivia time. I mentioned Reggie, speaking of Reggie Jackson.
All right, Russ, I need you here.
I mentioned Reggie Jackson didn't play in the World Series, but he did play in the series the following year where he was named the most valuable player.
MVP.
He won the MVP also in 1977 with the Yankees. So he won in 73 with the A's and 77 in the Yankees. He was the MVP in both of those. Reggie hit 3 home runs in the Game 6 clincher, earning him what famous nickname?
Mr. October.
Damn it.
What? Let's go!
I'm surprised you-
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
I didn't think you were going to know that, but all right, you got it. Okay, all right.
You can't trick me. I'm a year older now. My birthday was
Yeah.
on Monday. I'm a year older. You're smarter. You're prettier. You
Okay.
can't trick me. I don't need the help. Russ, save it. I don't need. I need you, but I don't for this one. How about that, guys?
Okay, all right, okay. I got another one here
Oh
for you.
no! Stop! Don't, I just want to stop there.
Okay, no. I got a couple more. One more here
Who
for
was
you.
also named Mr. October? Derek Jeter.
No, that's wrong. What is Derek Jeter's name out there? It's not Mr. October.
Clown.
No. Anyway, come on. Who?
No one cares about Jeter. He's like a Brady. We don't talk about.
Now, Derek Jeter was named something else, not Mr. October.
Mr.
It's,
Postseason.
it's a play on the name, but it's not Mr. October. It's Mr. Who's got it in there? Anybody?
Sandy does. Sandy's gonna come through with that for me.
Derek Jeter, known as Mr.
The captain.
Well, besides the captain, Derek Jeter was known as Mr. November. There you go.
Oh,
Russ
November.
got it.
Russ
Yeah,
got
there
it.
you go, Mr.
All
November.
right, so I got the first part. Reggie
Okay.
Jackson, Mr. October. You can't beat me there.
I mentioned the A's won 3 World Series in a row, and they've won just once more since.
Yeah.
What year was that?
1989. They won my birthday year. No, I knew that. I knew that.
Wow.
Let's go.
Oh, man.
Woo. You guys never
Yeah.
seen me dance. Only tailgate.
Okay, all right.
No, because I know like so much that happened in the year of my birth.
Wow.
Right? Sandy said stop. Stop what? Dancing? Sandy, no.
All right, so
I got that one, Russell.
I
That's
didn't-
my birth year. I got
I
that
didn't
one.
have this one written down, but I know this answer. So
No,
I'm going to ask you. No,
I'm too pro.
Excuse me. Bonus question.
For what? I already did the bonus.
Stop talking. Bonus question. When was the Reds' last championship?
91.
Nope.
Ooh, I don't care about the Reds.
Well, it's part of the trivia here, so you're close.
92.
Nope.
93.
No.
90.
You got it. 1990.
87.
No,
Russ,
87.
come on.
No, 87 I believe,
Okay,
was the Twins.
your 2 questions, Mr. October,
All right.
1989. I got right. What's my prize tonight?
Okay,
What's
all
my
right.
prize?
We'll see.
What's my prize?
We'll get you something. Check the mailbox. We'll get you something in the mail. All right. So
I
now,
think Sandy. Yeah, looked at his notes. I
I
haven't even
think,
looked.
yeah. Oh, hold on a second.
Sandy, I have the worst eyes ever.
She's looking
You
at my
see these
notes.
caterpillar eyelash extensions? I can't see past anything.
You're right,
Everything
Sandy.
looks good. This is
That-
up. This
Sandy,
is,
that's what's happening. I'm bringing these notes home.
Sandy,
You're looking at my notes.
I looked at your notes. I went food shopping today.
You're looking at my notes. All right. So
Sandy, you
let's
don't
get
believe in me.
let's
I
get
still
to
love
our
you.
celebrity, 1972 celebrity.
All right.
So
This is where I need you guys.
since the Dolphins are playing Detroit this Sunday, our 1972 celebrity of the week is a very famous native of Detroit. Can anybody guess who it is? A very
Motown.
famous,
He's a jazz singer.
very famous native of Detroit. Who am I talking about?
Look.
Born this week in 1972. Anybody? Bueller? Anybody out there? Anybody know? Can you guess?
You're saying somebody born in 1972 from Detroit.
Yeah.
That's like saying somebody born in 1972 from the United States of America.
See, somebody's got it there.
Eminem.
Boom! Who said it?
Russ.
Of course, Russ said it. So yes, I'm of course talking about Eminem. His birthday was just last week.
Oh, I saw that on the news.
He was born Marshall Bruce Mathers III on October 17, 1972.
He's 50 years old?
He just turned 50.
Wow.
Eminem, of course, is one of the best and most famous rappers ever, and among the best-selling musicians of all time. To date, he has sold over 220 million records, and he has had 5 #1 singles. He's also produced a bunch of #1 hits and starred in films, including the critically acclaimed 8 Mile.
Lose yourself in the music. Oh,
So now we got some.
Well, you have a new best friend because Sandy's no longer my best friend. So you just took my best friend. I didn't
bash the Yankees too.
Because you didn't see my Facebook status, or you just didn't like it. But I said I had a great birthday because Dolphins won and the Yankees got swept. Being honest.
Anyways, you're not a Yankee fan. That's not. That's
already, Jesus, I'm old. If M is 50, I'm only an 86 baby. I go, no, I couldn't believe it. Like, I remember just seeing, I'll be honest, like, 8 Mile was a movie that I probably shouldn't have watched when I did. It came out like during my, I don't want to say my childhood, but like I learned so many bad things, but not bad things I shouldn't have seen. You were an adult by then. You were like in your 20s, but I was young when that came out. And I remember watching 8 Mile and thinking like
a lot of crazy stuff going on.
I remember when he put it on. Okay, I'm not going to talk bad things.
Yeah, no.
But like the table, and I'm like, but I learned so much from that movie that like.
Okay, all right. I got some rapid trivia for you. Here we go. Ready to go. Eminem trivia. Who discovered Eminem? Is it A, P. Diddy, B, Berry Gordy, C, Dr. Dre, or D, Isaiah Thomas?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right.
Dude, you said Dr. Dre. Like you told me I was right.
Sorry. Okay, you got that one right.
Okay.
Which of the following is true about Eminem? A, he was an all-city basketball player in high school. B, is a successful arcade gamer. C, is recognized as a violin master. Or D, had a successful lawn mowing business as a teenager. Which is true about Eminem?
A.
He was not a basketball player.
No, I don't want that one. I wanted the one where we keep on.
Is he a violin master, or did he have a successful lawn mowing business as a teenager?
Dude, he's a violinist.
He is not a violinist.
Dude, I don't know what he was.
He is a successful arcade gamer.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, he actually had a very high score in the game Donkey Kong. It's really high score. And yeah, so Eminem is a.
He stumped us, even Russ.
He's a big arcade guy, a classic arcade. I want to be very clear on that. All right, true or false? In the movie 8 Mile, Eminem's character B. Rabbit worked at a Little Caesars, the famous national Detroit pizza chain.
We just had that last night.
But this was at the director's request because in real life, Eminem worked at a Domino's Pizza. Is that true or false?
True.
That's true?
Yeah.
That is false. He actually did work at Little Caesars. So I fooled you on that one.
Congratulations.
Right.
1 out of a million tonight.
All right. I got another true or false for you. True or false?
Okay.
Last year, Eminem opened up a restaurant named Mom's Spaghetti from the famous line in the song, Lose Yourself. True or false?
False.
Sure.
I can see you looking at me. It's a false.
That is absolutely true. If you go to Detroit, Eminem has a restaurant called Mom's Spaghetti, obviously from the famous line in the movie Lose Yourself. So if we ever go to Detroit, which we're not going, unfortunately, this week. But
says who?
Well,
I'm not going to
I didn't check the mail. Did you surprise me with tickets?
Who said you're going?
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So, all right. That's actually true. He's got a
Okay,
restaurant.
so Mom's Spaghetti he has, but he didn't work for Domino's. He worked for Little Caesars.
Correct. As in the movie. He worked for Little Caesars in the movie.
I haven't seen the movie since I was traumatized when I was 8.
All right, I got 2 more for you here.
Go for it.
How many times did Eminem fail 9th grade? How many times did Eminem fail the 9th grade? Is it A, 0, B, 1 time, C, 2 times, or D, 3 times?
2 times.
2 times?
Yes.
What do these guys think out here? How many times did Eminem fail the 9th grade? Did he fail it 0, 1, 2, or 3 times? Everybody's guesses out there? Everybody locked in with their guess?
I need some help.
You said 1.
I said 2.
You said 2. Sorry. Okay.
I said 2.
All right.
Russ has a trivia question for us too.
Okay, the answer is 3.
Oh, 3. RJ got it.
Oh, there you go. So
RJ got it.
Eminem failed the 9th grade 3 times, and then he gave up.
Was D 3 as well?
Yes.
Oh, Sandy got it too.
Yeah.
Sandy got it as well.
So he failed out of the 9th grade 3 different times, and then he just gave up. He didn't continue going, but he did all right. He made it out okay. So
he did okay.
No problem. All right.
Russ's question.
Yes.
What future Avenger is in the movie 8 Mile? Iron Man?
No. Is it
You didn't even know who Loki was, Lou.
Is it Mekhi Phifer? I don't know.
Lou,
what's the answer, Russ? I don't know.
He doesn't know Avengers. I saw a man that looked like Loki. He was like, who's Loki? Who's Loki? Who's Loki? I said, do not talk to me. Do not talk to me. Loki's my favorite.
All right, Russ, what do you got? What's the answer there?
What
don't know
future
that.
Avenger is in the movie 8 Mile? I say it's Iron Man. Captain. I think it's Captain America. Hold on, mouse. Anthony Mackie, Falcon, is Captain America.
Oh,
all
okay,
right.
Nice. Oh, there you go.
And
That's a good one. All right, the last one. Which of the following is not an Eminem song? Which of the following is not an Eminem song?
I think I'm going to do good at this one.
Is it A, Stay Shady, B, Shake That, C, Sing for the Moment, or D, Till I Collapse? Which of the following?
C and D are for sure.
A, Stay Shady, B, Shake That, C, Sing for the Moment, or D, Till I Collapse? Which is not an Eminem song?
Till I Collapse. I know C and D are.
So C and D.
C and D are.
Okay.
Shake That, been on the floor, shake that. I don't know if that's Eminem. And what's the first one?
Stay Shady.
Stay Shady is my guess.
Final answer?
Nobody's in the chat, so I'm gonna say yes.
That is correct. You got
Whoa!
You did pretty good this week. You stole my notes. You totally stole.
Bro, I literally went food
You
shopping.
stole my notes, man.
You
literally have gotten every question wrong since we've been doing this.
Okay, but I was also 32 back in last week. Now I'm 33.
Oh, you're wiser now. Could get these right.
Okay, obviously the questions don't lie.
Oh man,
Just accept it. Okay. I'm 33. I'm more mature, more beautiful, more skinny, more smarter. I'm just everything at 33 that I wasn't at 32.
Okay, all right, if you say so. All right, now that we got rid of that segment, let's do what the Dolphins are doing in 72. All right, in week 6, the Dolphins have what would turn out to be their closest margin of victory of the season. They beat their rival Buffalo Bills 24-23.
Ooh.
The game was played.
Was it here or
the game was played at.
Park?
Let me finish. I'll get to it.
Okay, I'm excited.
The game was played at the Orange Bowl on October the 22nd, 1972, and it was a 1 p.m. kickoff, and the game time temperature was 77 degrees. So beautiful day.
Beautiful.
Now, we told you last week that during the Week 5 victory against the San Diego Chargers, Bob Greasy suffered, and I didn't tell you what it was because back then they didn't put somebody in their tent or get x-rays the next day. It took a while. They ultimately found out that he was injured as a result of a broken right leg and ankle. So the Dolphins lost Bob Greasy to a broken right leg and ankle. So backup veteran Earl Morrall got the start in this one and really appeared to be the starter for the rest of the season. It wasn't known.
Was Jack Kemp the quarterback for Buffalo that game?
I don't believe so. I'd have to look it up.
What did it have been? He might be
I
right.
He could be. I know Jeff Kemp was a quarterback for the Bills. I'd have to look that up.
Don't ask any more questions because Sandy said I'm wiser, shadier, stole your notes.
Wow. Okay. She's shady, all right. So yeah, it was up in the air if Bob Greasy was going to return.
What was his injury?
I told you.
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
He suffered a broken right leg and ankle.
Ooh.
So that's not looking good. You know, going into this game, Earl Morrall's not just a starter for this game, but presumably for the rest of the season. And you're not even sure at this point how long the season's going to last because you know your backup quarterback's in there. He's 38 years old. So yeah, that's an issue. Now Earl Morrall
does not get enough credit for 72, and that is 1,000% true.
Absolutely, I'm going to tell you a stat. You know, everybody who is familiar with that team is well versed on how good Earl Morrall was, and I'm going to give you a stat. He was no stranger to coming in for QBs, star QBs at that. He relieved an injured future Hall of Famer Johnny Unitas in the 68 season. Don Shula was the coach back then for the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah.
And he won all but one game the remainder of that season, and he led the Colts to the Super Bowl, where he started that Super Bowl game and they lost to the Jets. He was benched in the second half because he wasn't doing anything, and Unitas was finally healthy.
Yeah.
Similar to what may happen with the Dolphins this year, but we'll have to see about that. But yeah, he started every game that year, the rest of the way, led the Colts to the Super Bowl. And then when he became available after the 71 season, after Shula had come to Miami, he, of course, grabbed Earl Morrall and brought him on board for insurance purposes.
Yeah.
And what an incredible investment it turned out to be. So as far as this game, Earl's first game as a starter, the Dolphins got off to a bad start. They were trailing the Bills 13-7 at halftime.
Not terrible.
Not too bad, but one of those scores came off an Earl Morrall pick six.
Oh!
So he threw an interception. It was returned back by the Bills for a touchdown, and the Dolphins were down 13-7 at the half. Now, they did recover in the second half. They righted the ship, and they outscored the Bills 17-10.
Good.
And they held on for a 24-23 victory, their sixth win of the year. Back then, no two-point conversions. So the Bills were down by 8. They scored late. They cut it to a 24-23 lead, but they could do no more because there was no chance to go for 2-point conversion back then.
So Sandy's makes a point. We need Earl Morrall this year.
We may
Bring
need
him back.
Earl.
Is he alive?
No, he's not. He's passed.
Bring him back from the dead.
Yeah, hologram. We can have
Hologram down.
a hologram Earl Morrall coming out of the tunnel. In this game, Larry Zonka rushed for 107 yards in the score.
Swag.
Mercury Morris, who gave a great pregame pump-up speech at Sunday night. Yeah. He scored 2 touchdowns, 2 rushing TDs. And our guy, Gario Premian, connected on a long field goal, 54-yard field.
Bring him back, too.
So he was awesome. Now, Earl Morrall finished, he just threw the ball 10 times. Just 10 throws on this game. He finished 6 of 10 for just 91 yards and that one big interception that was returned back for a score. But again, the Dolphins, between Zonka, Mercury Morris, and Jim Kick, they were a running team. They had, Hall of Famers on the line. They had Hall of Fame running backs. And really, they didn't need to throw the ball. So Earl Morrall comes in relief, starts his first game. Dolphins keep it moving, and they win. They're 6-0.
So 72 Bills running back O.J. Simpson, your best friend.
That's right, O.J. He's a killer running back.
72 Bills coached by Nick Saban's poppy. Did you know that? 72 Bills were coached by Nick Saban's father.
I didn't know that.
And RJ
Lou
said,
Saban? Is that Lou Saban, I think his name is?
And then RJ said, we put it on Buffalo week 8, though.
We have to wait. I don't know what happened. You have to.
We don't know. We're going week by week.
Sure.
I don't know if we won that game.
Sure.
We don't know.
Don't ruin it for everybody else out there, RJ. Come on.
I'm really excited to meet him next week in Chicago.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun. Awesome. So 72. So obviously we have, I would say, a big game. Every week's a big game. We're coming off a big win last week against the Steelers. We played Detroit. This week, Detroit's. I don't know. I've never been to Detroit. Have you been to Detroit?
I have not.
Really?
I know. Yeah.
So we haven't been to Detroit. Have you guys ever been to Detroit? Ohio. Let's see. Also in that game, Marlon Britt. So yeah. So we played Detroit this week. I don't know. I don't know a lot of Dolphin fans going up there. I did hear from numerous fans in general that the Detroit fans are not nice.
Yeah. So our Eagles friends went out there for a game earlier this year, and there were people throwing stuff at them and all that. And so, yeah, I've heard that the Detroit Lion fans are not very nice and hospitable. And they suck, too. They haven't won. Actually, it's funny enough, with the Bengals finally getting to the Super Bowl last year, I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but I believe the Dolphins in the AFC and the Lions in the NFC are the 2 most inept teams in terms of when they appeared last in the conference championship game. I know for sure the Dolphins is on the AFC side.
Yeah.
And I believe the Lions, the last time they were there was also around the same time the Dolphins, 92, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. Dolphins last time was 93 with Marino, and we lost to the Bills. And I think the Lions were last there in 92 with Barry Sanders. So for my money, the best running back that ever played that I saw.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders. Amazing. Incredible. He retired young, too.
Yeah.
He could have set all kinds of records that would have been all his. But, yeah, I think the Lions and the Dolphins have the 2 in each league, the 2 most, inept.
So Sandy said we have to win against the Lions. Well, the Lions are my son's team.
Ooh. And, of course, former Dolphin head coach Dan Campbell is the coach of the Lions. The Dolphins didn't renew his contract, so I'm sure that he's trying to, do a little payback there. But, yeah, no, we got to win. The Lions aren't a good team. They're not a good team. They're 1-5. Jared Goff is a horrible quarterback. Mm-hmm. They got all kinds of injuries on the O-line and wide receivers. We got to win that game.
So what about some score predictions? I'm curious to see some score predictions in the chat. So, guys, take a second. Curious to know. Score predictions have been all over. Last week, obviously, no one predicted the game being that close. Do you have any?
So I have a special guest that I'm going to bring in here in a little bit. He's going to give the prediction.
Well, why don't you go get him now?
It's talk Heat and all that, but then you guys could give your score
predictions.
No,
I think go get him now. We'll talk Heat. Go get the special guest.
All right, you talk Heat. Heat are starting a big West Coast swing, 3 games. Portland, Golden State, and Sacramento.
I guess you didn't go on the trip. Victor Oladipo. What else is new?
I did. All right. I have some props here. They did give out these cool schedule magnets, which hopefully the team see that the season started already. And, of course, the bucket hat.
I don't think it fits my head.
They got the bucket hat out there.
I look nice in it.
Yeah, those look good.
No. All right, guys. Lou's going to go get our special guest in the back to share his score of the Detroit Lions versus Miami Dolphins game. So in the meantime, Is he okay? Okay. We'll be right back with him. We actually have kept him in the room. And give me your score predictions for this week's 1:00 kickoff, Dolphins, Detroit. All right. So we have Russ, 28-17. See, you're already a Dolphins fan. You're cheering for us already. Sandy, 24-7 Dolphins. Yep. 24-7. That'd be nice to get 24 points on the board this week. I haven't really thought about the score prediction yet. But I would probably be around that 20-27 mark. And we'll see what happens. So Lou is in the back studio getting our guest. Real quick. Oh, do we have another prediction? All right, RJ. Miami 31, Detroit 10. So a little higher with the points for Miami on the board. Some keys to the game I can tell you right now. Obviously, it's pretty much the same every week, right? We need to protect Tua. That's like number one, all right? Teron Armstead. I love the guy. I think he's a great addition from the Saints. You need to block with all your life. Number two, defense needs to be strong. Don't sleep. We had 2 or 3 picks last game. That was fantastic. We did, our defense has been so that was great. Also, Sanders, you have to be close to perfect. I know you've been rocky this year, but every, extra point, field goal, all that does add up. So, I think he's I hear some noise in the background. Just as an FYI, I haven't been right all year yet. Sandy, well, get it together, girlfriend. Let's be right this time. It's a big one. So you guys know, now if the roof is open at Ford's Field, the score will be 21, Fins, Lions 11. Okay, so you think if the roof is open, we're going to be 1 touchdown less, and you think that Lions will be a little more. Okay. Well, I can tell you we are unlike those Pittsburgh fans because we don't complain when the weather is not to our favor. So we'll see what happens. And then obviously, we play Detroit this week. Then we play Chicago. Some upcoming really big games that we have as well is we have those 2 games out in California, which I unfortunately won't be in attendance. Neither will Lou. It's just too hard to get to California, but I know Sandy will be there. Texans come to town. We have Green Bay on Christmas Day, which those fans travel well. And obviously, they're going to want to leave Wisconsin in the middle of winter. So I'm expecting a lot of cheeseheads here on Christmas. We obviously go up to Orchard Park later on, and then the Jets come down here, and we play the Patriots as well. So I think that's the rest of our season. I don't think I'm missing any games. All very winnable games. I think the scariest game that we are going to play is that the Bills game. Obviously, they're hungry from what we did to them earlier this season. Don't sleep on Green Bay. I actually had Green Bay in the Super Bowl, even though they've been like this year. Sandy will be at both games in Cali. You're so lucky. One day I'm going to get out there. Lou, did you find him yet? Guys, you won't believe this. You won't believe this. I'm so embarrassed right now.
Ooh,
You gotta be kidding me.
yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, yeah. Special guest appearance, baby. And the Macho Man. I heard you want some predictions. Let it play, Elizabeth. Let the music play, Elizabeth. The Macho Man is here, back in your life. Yeah. Macho time, baby. It's the Macho Man.
You're embarrassing me so bad on the show. No one's even saying anything in the chat because they're so embarrassing right now.
They must be awestruck from having the Macho Man right in front of their eyes, back to prominence. Oh, yeah.
God, don't ever look at me like that.
Macho Man, Macho time. Yeah. Go ahead, you have some predictions you need me to make?
Okay.
Macho Man is ready.
Shut this off.
No, let it keep playing.
No.
It's the Macho Man's
We're
grand
done.
entrance into the arena.
You're
At the War Memorial Auditorium. Yeah,
already savage.
that's right. Macho time.
I'm dead. And I want a Slim Jim all of a sudden.
Oh, step into a Slim Jim. The Macho Man loves his Slim Jims. Yeah.
Calvin just came in wondering what the heck is happening. I don't even know.
Kelvin, you missed a great show, buddy. The Macho Man is here now. Welcome in, buddy. Yeah.
Russ got you for 3 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, RJ's gonna wear this in Chicago. I promise you we'll pack it. Okay, what do you have to say? Go
Macho
ahead.
Man doesn't know about that, but can't make any promises there.
You need to rock it at the tailgate.
At the tailgate, we'll see about that.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed right now.
Nothing
Where
to
did
be
you get
embarrassed
this?
about Elizabeth. What's the problem,
Who's Elizabeth?
Don't worry. Oh, did I say the wrong name? Don't worry about it. Don't make me scream out Elizabeth later. Yeah, Macho Man.
Who are you? I'm so embarrassed. Okay, go ahead.
Where's my Slim Jim?
Go ahead. Say what you have to say. You have more viewers now than before, so go ahead.
Macho Man says a couple things. The Macho Man wants to congratulate the Phillies for being in the World Series. Yeah. Macho Man sees good things in your future against those cheating Astros. The Astros, they're cheaters. Just like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was a big cheater. Macho Man doesn't like cheaters. So the Macho Man is rooting for the Phillies. The Macho Man has a good feeling the Phillies are going to pull it out. Yeah. As far as this Sunday, 1 p.m. from the Pontiac Silverdome. Yeah. Macho Man wrestled there during WrestleMania back in the 80s. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't. You can't.
Macho Man
You're not
says
sleeping
this.
in the same bed as me tonight.
This
I'm telling
Sunday,
you right now, you're sleeping on
1
the couch.
p.m. from the Pontiac Silverdome.
I don't even call it that.
I'm rolling with it. Back in the 1980s when the Macho
Okay,
Man
I
was
was
in
gonna
all
say.
his glory. And back when the Dolphins actually used to do good things on the football field. So the Macho Man says, yeah, this Sunday, Pontiac Silverdome, Dolphins 35, Lions 13. Book it right now, baby. We're coming for you, Detroit. The Macho Man says, it's time to go to sleep. Elbow drop from the top. Yeah. Get on board, Elizabeth.
Don't call me Elizabeth. I don't know if this is an ex-girlfriend name. Calvin said I'm gonna honky tonk man and hit you on the head with a
Ooh, the
guitar.
honky tonk man.
Woo!
Macho Man doesn't like the honky tonk man. He's got some payback for him at the War Memorial Auditorium. Come on, get it, come on, get it, honky tonk man.
Slim Jim. Russ Taylor says, I'm so embarrassed right now.
Nothing to be embarrassed about, Elizabeth.
You need to find Dexter's Laboratory, dial M for Monkey, the wrestler episode. He voiced the character.
Oh, I got to check that out. That was some of my good work, but I was unconscious. The Macho Man drinks a lot, you know.
Every trash can will be chained down at the stadium. Oh, because they'll throw you in a trash can. Sandy loves it. The Macho Man took all my...
Macho Man took what?
Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Ooh, I like that guy, too. A good friend of mine. He's no Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, though. I owe him some payback. Yeah.
Where did this come from, Lou?
It's Halloween. Come on. It's Halloween. The Macho Man needed to get in spirit.
Lou, I literally thought you had
Halloween.
somebody in the back room for us.
I do. It's he right here. It's the Macho Man.
You are not sleeping in the same bed.
Macho time.
Somebody tell me Matt Lever and Mike McDaniels have been on the phone. I think someone's going down tomorrow making... Oh, Gasicki.
Gasicki? What are we hearing about that?
Someone tells me Matt and Mike have been on the phone. I think something's going down tomorrow morning for Gasicki.
Wow.
Oh, Macho Man, you don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like that either. Where are the rockers?
With the what?
Rockers.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Where are the rockers? Stop going.
I don't know what that means there, Russ.
Cap, if we end up really losing Gasicki tomorrow, I'm not mentally ready for that. I have a lot of love for Gasicki. I liked what he's been put into our offense the last 2 games. I know. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong, but nothing would surprise me with this team. Somebody get Thunder Lips on the phone.
Ooh,
Who's
Thunder
Thunder Lips?
Lips. That's a Hulk Hogan character in Rocky. Hold on. The Macho Man's getting a call right now. I'll be right back. You continue on with the show. I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. He is so embarrassing, guys. Ugh, this is what I have to deal with. Anyways, let Macho Man go and let Luke come back. No, but back to the Gasicki thing. We spoke about this earlier in the show. If anybody's on the chopping blocks, it's Gasicki, right? We knew this going into the season. We saw it like in the earlier part of the season, him having less of a offensive role in regards to play catching and running the ball, more blocking. So if it happens, I don't want to say I'm going to be surprised, but I'm not going to be happy. So we'll see. Lou, hey.
I can't find my guests. I don't know what's going on.
I thought they were in the other room.
I don't know. There's feathers all over the bedroom, and there's Slim Jims all over. I don't understand what's happening here, but I can't find my special guest.
Did you check like in the bathroom? Maybe it's in the bathroom?
Nah, I didn't check. But oh well.
All right.
What are you guys talking about?
No, we're just talking about Gesicki. Like, there's a possibly rumor that we might be losing him tomorrow.
Really?
I said that I'm not ready for that.
Yeesh.
But if Gesicki goes, I go. Oh man, we're about to lose a huge Dolphins fan from Southern California. If Gesicki goes, I'll tell you, if Gesicki goes, you go, and so does Miss Fins, our girl Miss Fins.
Oh yeah, she wouldn't like that at all. It's her husband.
Yes, I mean you follow your husband.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Dolphins football. We've been talking for an hour, so it's finally we start winning. We're excited. When we lose, we don't talk about it. Let's switch gears real quick. Oh, excuse me, guys. Miami Heat basketball, real slow start. We opened up our season against Chicago Bulls last Wednesday. That's why we moved the show till Thursday, and we lost. Right? Unfortunately, we looked terrible. Then the Celtics came to town on Friday, and guess what? We lost. And then Raptors came to town on Saturday. We went and we won. That game was full of a lot of drama, especially with Caleb Martin and Christian Coloco. Christian Coloco was a first-round pick this year by the Raptors from ASU.
No, Arizona.
Arizona. I don't know why I said ASU. I'm sorry.
Arizona State.
ASU. I'm sorry. Lou's favorite team is Arizona.
That's right.
And so, we've seen a lot of Arizona games this year on TV, last year. And so we know Christian Coloco's potential and in the NBA, and we saw what he did in college. So Caleb Martin literally spearheaded him down, and then the bench is cleared. And then Jokic, our first-round draft pick, ends up getting suspended for a game before he even had playing time. So
he came off the bench.
He came off the bench.
Rule. That rule is actually put into effect during the Heat-Knicks rivalry in the playoffs. All these guys coming off the bench. Patrick Ewing was suspended a game for coming off the bench. I think that's bull crap. I mean, you do come off the bench. You don't do anything. They're just trying to prevent people from inciting, any more than whatever took place on the court.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb.
It was his adrenaline going, new to the country, new to the league. And you've been working with these guys all summer. You see your boy go down like that. So it was crazy. Don't worry, 76ers keep messing around, and Doc Rivers will be having Thanksgiving dinner by himself at home. Oh.
I believe that. Look, Russ, it's early in the year, and I say the same thing for the Heat. But, man, Doc has had some questionable losses, some collapses in the playoffs. And if he starts off with a really bad losing record,
I think
it's a short leash, especially with the additions you got made in the offseason. I think Doc needs to start winning games quick.
Yeah. So, and with the Heat, Bam Adebayo, he's just inconsistent. One day, he's Mr. Aggressive, stealing balls from babies. The other day, he's going to get a rebound. So, Bam needs to be more consistent. Max Strus, my favorite player on the team, has been excellent. Tyler Hero has gained a starting spot, so it's really great to see him in the 5-spot rotation. And then a player who just is disappointing me nonstop is Victor Oladipo. He was injured most of the year last year, comes later on. He has a little bit of playoff time, and we learned in the offseason, we didn't learn in the offseason. We learned the first game that he was injured. Now we learned that it's actually worse than we thought. He didn't travel with the team. We have a few West Coast games this week. And it's I've seen this man wear more street clothes on the bench than in a Heat jersey, and that's not acceptable.
Yeah. No, he's got to get healthy. I wouldn't put him out there until he's ready to go because you don't want another setback to take place.
Sandy's leaving. Sandy, sending you a million kisses. Send my love to Jared. Thank you for tuning in always, and hopefully see you soon. Love ya. And then that's another reason the rule was put in place.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not the rule. The rule was because of what I just said. They don't want these players coming onto the court and getting in people's faces and making more than what just happened based on a hard foul. So I'm not with it.
No. So Heat are just I don't want to say we're struggling, but
it's just a slow start to the season.
That's the best way to put it.
The Panthers lost last night to the Blackhawks, so they're also about 500 right now. And then, of course, the big story happening this Friday night is the World Series. A lot of people.
Astros, Phillies. We haven't really talked about it because we've been really busy this week. A lot of things going on. We have a trip coming up. Everything. Who do you think's really going to win this series? And know how many games? And drop it in the chat too, guys. Who do you think's going to win it? And what's the series?
Yeah, I don't think home field advantage means a lot in baseball, but the Astros are home, and they're a team that's got a lot of experience. The Phillies don't. They have better starting pitching.
Astros have cheated their way. That's not.
That was before. It's not experience. That was before. I agree with you. They did cheat. That was public knowledge. It was brought out there, but they haven't been cheating. The microscope's really been on them, and they haven't been cheating to everybody's knowledge. Everybody's out to try to catch them cheating, and they haven't been doing so. At the end of the day, they have really good players, and they have a good manager in Dusty Baker, who has gotten many teams to this round but never won it.
Yeah.
So they're very well managed. They got a lot of good players in the batting order, in the batting lineup. They got tremendous starting pitching, a plethora, a very deep rotation, and they got a great bullpen. And they're undefeated. They're 7-0 in the postseason.
Yeah.
They haven't lost one game. Now, the games have been close, including an 18-inning game against the Mariners. But, they've been close games. They've been winning them all. They're 7-0. So it's going to be a good series, I think. And I hope I'm wrong because, like you said, since they cheated, I kind of want to root against them. But I think the Astros are going to end up winning the series.
Russ said if they can steal one in Houston and not wipe out their bullpen, fair assessment. They get that one big one in Houston and then bring it home and win some.
Agree, but I just think it's not going to end in Philadelphia. I think it's going back to Houston, and I think at that point it's a matter of whether Houston wins in 6 or in 7. I hope I'm wrong. I'm rooting for the Phillies definitely, but the Astros, they're battle tested. They got a better lineup, and more importantly, you could even say the lineups. You could put it on paper and say the lineups could be even. The Phillies got a lot of big stars that are playing really well, but I think the starting pitching edge, the bullpen edge, and definitely the manager who's had the experience doing this goes towards the Astros, plus the experience. So I'd say Astros in 6 or 7. And I hope I'm wrong.
You heard it first from Lou. We'll see what happens, right? First game's Friday.
Friday night, yeah. Friday
7?
and Saturday. I think it's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Friday and Saturday in Houston, then it moves over to Philly for 3 games, and then back for 6 and 7 in Philadelphia.
So we'll see. A lot of sports going on. We have, basketball is getting, heating up. You're in the middle of football season, postseason baseball, hockey season up. This is a great time. October is a wonderful month for many, many reasons. Fall weather, pumpkins, and just a lot of sports going on. And
Halloween
Sunday. So we won't see them until next week. So definitely share your Halloween outfits. I don't know if we're doing anything for Halloween. Are we going to go trick-or-treating? You took me last year trick-or-treating. Last year, I dressed up as Tua, but a Hooters girl Tua. So I had my Hooters outfit on, and we were just driving around the neighborhood. I'm not going to disclose where we live. Well, we live in Miami, but people in Miami leave candy out on their street. And so we went out and we just ransacked. It was late though.
People were there though.
And they also give us drinks too. We have very nice neighbors. So
Miami trick or treating does it differently. So
we had a lot of candy, a lot of drinks, and hopefully Halloween is canceled in Philadelphia.
It is.
Ooh, then that means you need to come down to Miami and trick or treat with us.
Yeah.
So all right. So what do you say?
No, nothing. I got nothing else to say except go Dolphins. I hope everybody has a nice and fun rest of the week and weekend. And if you're going trick-or-treating or if you're taking the kids out trick-or-treating, be safe. Unfortunately, we still live in a crazy world. A lot of people, you never can trust what people put in candies or whatever they're doing. So just be careful.
Outfits they have buried in their bedroom.
Yeah, well, that too. People are crazy in general.
Oh, the game's on. No, they have Halloween, but the game's on Halloween. But technically, it's canceled. Makes sense.
Okay.
No, makes sense. Who's gonna go trick or treating? You're not dressed up like.
No, you're watching the game. So
yeah,
got it.
Okay. I would have a sign on my door. Leave me alone. Go watch the World Series. Anyways, guys. All right. Thanks for tuning in tonight. It was wonderful hanging out with you. Hopefully, Dolphins get a big win on Sunday. This way, we will be 5-3, which is comfortable, and I wouldn't mind ending my season with just 3 losses and continue with this momentum from here.
That's right.
So until then, go Dolphins, go Heat, and go Panthers. Roar! And maybe the U. Yeah, no, just kidding. All right, night, guys. Catch you next week. Next Wednesday, we should be on. Bye.